Hi everyone, welcome to Spender Learning Platform, and I'm Puneet, Vashistha, your instructor today. And we will be learning today the full stack development. And this development we will be doing with the help of Java. And as you know, the full stack development can be done using OneStack, MiniStack, even the Python, Django, Flask, and many more technologies. But here we will be doing it with the help of Java Spring Boot. So as you all know that a lot of the companies in the whole world is basically working with Java only. If you look at the legacy-based application of those companies, is still using this Java. Why? Because of security features. Why? Because of scalability, and why there are a lot of features available in the Java, and Java is still growing in a very rapid way. As you can see that recently Java 26 has already been launched, and even I believe before 6 or 7 months ago, we were having Java 25. So it means there is a very rapid advancement that is going on with Java. So even if we're getting a lot of new features with we're getting a lot of new features with Java. So that is why most of the companies used to prefer the Java over other languages. So let's go ahead. We'll be learning this full stack development with the help of Java, Spring Boot, along with the React. So let me give you a brief overview how our application used to work. Even though if you are already familiar with it, you can still watch it. You will be getting a lot knowledge. You will be getting a lot of things from this video. If you are a fresher, if you are an experienced person, if you are even looking forward to have projects as well, so this video is for you. So we'll be going ahead to first of all complete the backend in today's video, and in the next video you will be getting the React connection with it. So first of all, let us suppose this is your front end, and the front end is nothing but your web application, right? Front end, and then this front end used to get connected with your backend. Backend, I'll be letting you know about the technologies as well, but let us consider it as your backend, right? And this backend is getting connected to one more thing, which is the database, right? So this is your database, right? So you got front end, back end, and database, and that's how it is connected, right? So your front end, back end, database, so that's how it is connected. The front end is getting connected to back end, and then this back end is getting connected with the database, right? So you may have different technologies available with the front end, with the front back end, with the database. Database, you can use Oracle, you can use MySQL, you can use Postgres. For the backend, you can use Python, you can use any of the technology to create your APIs. And for the front end, even you can use any of the technology, right? So, but in today's video, what we will be doing for the front end, we will be using the React.js. Why we are considering the React library? Because if you consider an example at this moment, there are a lot of big companies, big MNCs, service-based MNCs, which are providing services to the old legacy applications of some other companies or clients where they're using the Angular, right? But in today's world, wherever the migration is going on, you will see 90% of the migration is going on React.js, right? Either they are migrating from Angular to React, either they are migrating from JSPs or Timeleaf to React. So everywhere you can see that the React.js is the winner, right? So we are considering React.js in this playlist. I mean, in the next video, basically, we will be having only two videos in this module. Even though we are having different courses already up and running, but at this moment, we will be considering these two videos to mainly focus on your full stack development, right? So for the backend, we will be using the Spring Boot. As you all know that Spring Boot is the one which is the player in the market right now, which is the king in the market right now. And for the database, we will be using the MySQL, right? So if you are completely new to these whole technologies, then don't worry about it. In this video, we will be learning the technologies. Even we will be just implementing those by creating a project. And in today's video, we will be creating a CRUD application. And you know that, I believe you already know that if you are working on any of the technology, specifically for the web application creation, then CRUD is the one which you must know. With the help of CRUD, if you know the CRUD, create, retrieve, update, delete, then you can do anything. Even there are a lot of things that can be done using the CRUD itself, and that's how you will become a full stack developer, right? If you know CRUD, There can be other enhancement you can do. For an example, you can add the pagination, you can even add a lot of other functionalities as well. But all things will get revolve around CRUD only, right? So let's go ahead, just create an application of a Spring Boot. We will be first of all implementing the Spring Boot, the REST APIs, and those REST API will get connected to our front end React.js application that will be consuming those particular APIs using the HTTP connection, right? And the MySQL or MS SQL will be getting connected to the Spring Boot directly, right? And that's how we will play. And one more important thing is React.js generally used to run on 5.73, right? And but we will be considering, for an example, 3000. We will be considering, you all know that by default Spring Boot used to run on 8080. We will be going with the same, and the MS SQL, I hope you already know that, but we'll be making a connection using the data JPA over here, and then React.js using the HTTP client. So don't worry about that. Just look at backend and database connection right now. We will be creating the APIs, and for which application we will be working on. So the application name, let us consider it as a student management system, right? Student management system. How it would work, let's understand it. So we will be having, as I've already told you, CRUD. So CRUD is nothing but create, retrieve, update, and delete. So for the creation, we'll be just creating an API using create student. This would be a function. Let us suppose it's a function, right? And another thing is to retrieve. So to retrieve the values, we will be using get student, right? This is for a specific student. If you want to retrieve all the students, then get all student, right? Students we can write. Then CR is done. Updation. So we can have the update student, right? Update student can be done. Then the last one is delete student, right? If you want to delete the student from the database, this is the particular function that we'll be creating, right? The important part will be coming inside the particular module itself, where you'll be learning a lot of things, how we can be doing the put mapping, patch mapping, and what are the other functionalities which we are having with the Spring Boot. Today we'll be knowing in this video itself. So please stay here with me till the end of this video, and then you will see the difference. What is the difference you will be getting from the other videos to this video, right? And again, after mastering this particular playlist of 2 videos only, you will become a full stack developer, and you can apply to the multiple companies as well. Let's go ahead and create that application. Okay, so we'll be first of all creating the Spring Boot REST APIs. Okay, let's go ahead to create it. First of all, if you already having your IDE available, then you can go with that. It can be STS, it can be Eclipse IDE, where you might have Spring Boot already installed in that, or you can just even use your marketplace to download or to install the Spring Boot, right? Or even you can use the Spring Initializer.io website, from where you can just directly import your dependencies, right? I can show you that as well. For an example, I'll go over here. I just type out Spring Initializer .io, this one, okay, and here you can just include the dependencies and all, but I already have my Eclipse available. So in the Eclipse only, I'll be opening that. So this is my Eclipse, and we'll be creating a new project. This project I've already created actually, but there are a lot of things, even that video has got deleted from my system, so I'm just creating this video again. Don't worry about that. We'll be just going with the same flow, with the same energy, definitely for you only. Let's go ahead and just create a new project. This is a new project, and here you have to search for Spring, right? And this is a Spring starter project, and here you will see that the same URL that we were using in the Chrome, it is here only. And now I'm just mentioning, or I'll be changing it as student management system, right? Just please don't give the space, right? System. And Maven we will be using. You can use a Gradle as well if you are familiar with the Gradle, but I'll be using form.xml only. With Java 17 I'll be using, because in my system, this is 17 is only the one that I'm having at this moment. Jar 5. If you're going with the embedded one, Jar is the best one. If you're going for the external Tomcat, then War can be the preferable way. Now group name I'm also changing. The group name I'll be changing according to my student management system. Student management system. Okay. And this same group I'll be just mentioning inside my package as well. Okay. The artifact name I'll be going with the student management system. It's fine for me. And the snapshot version I'll be version you can keep anything. I'm just going with the same demo project for Spring Boot student management system. That's it, right? Okay. Yeah. And now just hit on next. The important window is coming now. You have to use few dependencies to create your Spring Boot backend project. I mean API where we will be creating, right? So for that, I'll be using the Spring Web. Just search for the web. You will be getting Spring Web somewhere. Oh, oh. So what happened actually? You will see that the particular project will come over here without the dependencies, and that's how I believe you want me to show from the website perspective as well. So this is the student management system. This is the pom.xml, but without the dependencies that I was willing to put, right? So you will see that these are the by default dependencies which is coming, Spring Boot Starter test, but we will be getting the dependencies from this website. Let me move to this point. Okay. Add dependencies. Let's go and add the dependencies. What dependencies we want is a Spring Web. Okay. What else? If you are a hi-fi developer, then definitely you must be aware about the dev tools as well, because you do not want to restart your server again and again. You just want to do your changes and then you want to hit the save. Automatically, your application will restart. I'll not be using the Lomba because I don't want you to install any of the plugin. I don't want you to waste your time. So the important thing is JPA. Yes, you must include the JPA, and even let's keep on moving up. Then we will be using one more dependency, which is MySQL, right? MySQL driver. Okay. So if you are using the Oracle one, then you can use the Oracle driver. Okay. So now you will go and hit explore, and by hitting on the explore, you will be finding the dependencies, right? There's a dependency section. I'll be just copying whole dependency section up to here, and we'll be copying or pasting the same inside this dependencies or this application itself. Okay. Let's go ahead. These are the dependencies from where it is started, and up to here I just want to change it. Okay, just hit the save button. You will see that the process will start again. It will just load all the dependencies, and accordingly then you can start your work. Now it is giving me some errors as well. Don't worry about the errors. This is the first and foremost thing I want to let you know. If you're getting any of the errors, just feel very happy about it, because you will be learning a lot of things from the errors itself. Right now, I'm getting an error. Project dependencies version. Okay. Oh, got it. Why you are getting an error? Because the important thing that you must be aware about is that if you are using any of the dependencies, you must be aware about the version that you are using currently in your local, and the dependencies that you are consuming from the Spring Initializer website, right? Just choose 17 jar. Okay, and the snapshot version has been changed. Okay, now if I'll go to the explore, you will see the difference now. The difference will come up. This one I have to just import. Okay, because few of the things has already got changed in the Spring Boot 4, which is the recent one, but we'll be going with the 3 itself. Okay, so let me go to dependencies. Let me just paste it. And again, I just want you to let you know that if you're getting any of the errors, please don't afraid of it. It's a part of learning, right? If you will be getting any of the errors, then you will be learning a lot of things from it, right? So we have just imported all the dependencies. Now you can see no errors is there. Even here, the process has been finished. We'll be going to the Java. And before moving ahead, I want to let you know that if you're creating any of the Spring Boot application, you will be having different set of layers. And here we'll be just considering only the repository layer, only the controller layer, and the model, or you may say it as an entity layer, right? Why I'm not taking service layer because we will be just directly handling the JPA functions only. Save, delete by ID, find by ID, find all, right? I don't think so. I have to just specifically mention any of the service layer business logic, right? So that's why I'm skipping it at this moment because we just want to be a full stack developer, right? And whatever logic we have to write, we'll be writing directly into the companies only, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and create our first application or first API. Okay. The first and foremost thing you must be aware about is that anything you will be creating inside your application, just go with the packages, right? So first of all, I'll be just creating my package. The first package I'll be creating is dot controller. So controller is nothing but it is a front one which will be communicating directly with your any of the requests which is coming from the client side, right? Even this is the first place from where you will be interacting with the front end as well, right? So let's finish it out. After finishing it, you will be seeing that your controller has been created over here, right? My system is getting a bit hang, so please cooperate with me. I don't want it to get hang, but I cannot do anything at this moment. But let's go ahead. Let's first of all create all the packages so that we don't have to worry about the packages later. And the another package that I want to create is repository, or we can call it as a DAO layer, right? Few people used to say DAO as well, so I'm considering it as a repository, right? Okay, let's go ahead and create one more package, guys. That is the important one, even, which is model, right? At this moment, when we were saying about the student management system, so student is the specific word that we are considering at this moment. So student might have ID, student might have name, student might have a lot of things, right? So let's go ahead and create a model only. Model is nothing but a particular Pojo class. Pojo is nothing but plain old Java object, right? As I pronounce is right, let me know in the comment sections. Okay, so let's create one class over here, and the class name we will be mentioning as student.java. Java it will take by default, just mention student. Okay, it's a class, so automatically it will be coming as .java only. So you can see over here student.java has been created. And what are the things you want with a student, right? Let me know. First and foremost thing is private int id. Okay, another thing is private string name. And another thing is I may want um, private string class name. Okay, class number. Okay, class number. What else? I want father name as well. Private string father name. What else we want? We want private string domain, right? Domain. Okay, science domain or commerce domain. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Now, class number, we should have to take it as an integer. We can consider it as a long as well, but I don't think so. Long will work. I mean, long integer is sufficient for 12th class student, right? So that's it. We have created it, but the thing will not get over here because if we want to interact with the JPA with the help of Hibernate, actually, Hibernate is the implementation of the JPA or ORM framework, right? ORM is nothing but your object relation mapping. So first and foremost thing that you have to do to set up your ORM or object relation mapping is you, because we are using the JPA over here, and JPA is nothing but your a kind of what we can say. It is using the Hibernate internally to match or to map your particular objects as a table, right? So what you can do is whenever we are creating any of the entity, we have to mention it as an entity, right? And what it will do, it will create a table automatically inside our database. And how it will create those things, we will be definitely defining in our properties file, right? I'll be showing you that as well. We will be doing that. So let me just hover on it. You can also hover on your application itself. Don't hover it over here. Okay, and you will be getting jakarta.persistence.entity. It's got important, right? Now, another thing is I'll be using the at the rate ID annotation. Okay, why? Because ID is something that should be unique for each of the student. Because if because there might be a possibility that if I'm creating a student and after creating any of the student, those ID got matched, then I cannot refer to a specific student. Then, right? Now, name and all, I don't want to touch them. But the important thing I want to utilize over here is the source. And using the source, I want to generate the getters and setters so that it will become easier for me to, like, I don't have to write it manually. Let's generate the code now, and the code has been generated. You can see that. After that one, what we will be going to do is we will be just creating the repository layer. And in the repository, what we will be doing, we will be just creating a class. It should not be a class actually, but it should be an interface. But for an instance, we will be calling it as student repository class. We will be changing it internally. Don't worry about it. Student repository. Okay. Inside the student repository, if you will see now, let it get open. Please don't mind. My system is so slow at this moment. A lot of processes is going on. Okay. So if you're calling it as a repository, just you must be aware about one important thing. If you're calling it as a repository, how our Springboard will get to know it is a repository? So you must insert annotation on it, which is at the rate repository, right? And important thing is it should not be a class, it's an interface. And this interface used to extend the JPA repository. Even you can extend the CRUD repository as well, but most of the developers loves this JPA repository. So why? Because it used to come up with uh, what I'll say, lot of implementations. Not implementation, but you will see that while we'll be doing the pagination and everything. If you want to do that, then definitely the JPA repository is the one that you can use. Apologies, guys. So I lost the connection in between because of this electricity problem over here. But don't worry about that. Public interface student repository extends JPA repository. Here we just have to mention our student as a class because student is the class which will be working for the JPA repository and student. Then what is the ID type, which is integer, right? Integer. Okay. Now let's import it as well. Import JPA repository here as well. Repository. I just have to import it. Just overrun it. Don't worry about anything. You might get few issues, but you can be able to resolve it. You can let me know in the comment section if you are facing any of the issues while importing it. I'll be letting you know. We can use AI as well, right? So now we have just imported everything and we are ready with our repository layer. I don't think so we have to do anything over here. If you want to have your sort of custom queries, you can even do that. But at this moment, we are just only considering the CRUD application. So don't think about it, right? Just create an application, just connect it with the React, and you are done. You are a full stack there. Student has been created, student repository has been created. Now before going further to the controller layer, I just want to set up the properties layer, right? I want to just set up these properties, which I was talking about, right? Let's go ahead. The important thing is when I was speaking about the port, initially I was talking about a port, and the port I was mentioning it as a by default port 8080. It's a server dot port. You have to mention the server dot port equals to 8090, and that particular port will get changed from 8080 to 8090 or whatever the port you want to give. So at this moment, I want it to be by default, which is 8080. So I'm removing that one, and I will be setting this string dot data source dot username, and username I'll be setting it as root because root is the one that I'm using at this moment. SOURCE. Please don't take it seriously actually because my system is getting so slow. I'm not able to sync it, right? So string dot data source dot password, and I'm setting it as root only because I'm using the root. Similarly, we'll be setting up the URL and few other stuff. This is the part, the data source URL, JDBC, MySQL, localhost 3306. This is a student management and system, right? This is my database name, and if I'm mentioning this database name, I should have to create it in the particular backend as well. So what I'll be doing, I'll just create database, and this is the database I want to create. Just run this query. You will see that I'll be refreshing it over here. You will see that this has been created over here. I just double click on that, and this particular database is in use now. And even you can see that no tables is there right now. but once I'll start my application, you will see that the table, that is the student table, will get automatically created over there because of JPA. That is the beauty of the Spring Boot data JPA, right? Why I'm mentioning this JPA Hibernate DDL Auto, because one of the things I will be doing at this moment, it will automatically creating that particular student table over there. It will be even updating the table. So that's why I'm using this particular DDL Auto as update, right? And Spring JPA show SQL, I'll be showing you that because when I'll be running my application, you will see the particular logs or the queries that is getting hit while I'm just executing any of the things. I mean, I'll be showing you that as well. Let me run that application. But before running it, let me do one thing. I have to just create some API. Any of the API I'll be just creating over here for your reference. Let's go and create one controller class, student controller. I'll be just creating student controller, and let's say that you are inside the student controller now. Here, the important thing is if we are working on a REST API, then you have to use the REST controller. If you are working on any of the JSP page or Timely, then you can include the controller. Okay. So right now I'm working on REST API, then I'll be mentioning it as at the rate REST controller, right? Let's import it. Okay, we have imported it. Now let's go ahead. Just create first API. The first API is of get mapping, and inside the get mapping and a public response entity. I just want to return some sort of string data at this moment, so string, and get first page, right? Get first page. Okay. So this is the function that I'm creating at this moment, and here I just want to return response entity dot. Okay, is the status that I want to send, and here you will be seeing hi family, right? Hi family. That's it. Okay. But important thing is I have to import all of these. Don't worry about that. Just import it. You're having the beauty with your IDE that you can just hover on it and you can just directly import it out as well. So that's done, right? Okay. So let me start this particular application by right clicking on that. You can just run as Spring Boot app. Let it get started. So you will be seeing the logs as well. And in the logs only, I want to show you something which is very, very much interesting, right? So let it get started. You will see that the database JDBC URL connecting through data source, Hikari data source, even you can override that as well if you want to customize your data source, right? And that was the thing I was talking about, that create table student. When I have done it as show query or show SQL equals to true. So that was the thing. Um, that is why this particular thing or this particular query you can see in the logs, right? This is what it has hit. And even if I'll try to see, or if I just refresh it out, you will see that a particular table has been created as a student. If I want to do select, or I want to describe the table actually, DSC describe the student table, it will be showing you that these are the fields we are having at this moment, and ID is as primary, right? This is the beauty actually. Okay, so let's go ahead, and as application is already running, let's go into our any of the source if you want to use. I'm just using my Postman at this moment. Let's go ahead. This is the get mapping. This is the Postman, MENN. It's a kind of extension that I've downloaded in the Chrome. You can even download it. And here, what I want to use is this one. And if I hit the send request, you will see that I family has been printed over here. I got the 200 response, right? So that is the beauty actually. This is of no use. You can remove it, and again I can hit the send request. You will see hi family is again getting printed. So just clap for you. The first API you have already created, and now we'll be going ahead to create all the CRUD operations. So let's see how we'll be doing it. Let's go back to our particular Eclipse, and then the important thing that I want to do over here is, first of all, I want to set one request mapping path, right? Request mapping. What path exactly I want? I want the path to be slash SMS, right? SMS is nothing but student management system, right? And I'll just save it. Before saving it, I have to just import it as well. If you will see, whenever I'm saving it, it's just getting reload again and again. That is the beauty of tab tools dependency that I've injected, right? Um, let's get imported actually. Okay. Now, the first and foremost thing is to create the particular data inside the tables, right? So what I'll be doing is post mapping. We will be using post mapping, right? Post mapping. Okay. And now public response entity and the student. Okay, student and create student, right? Okay. I hope you have got it right. Student. That's fine. Okay. So let me just import everything. Just import post mapping. Done. Student. Done. Now the important part is coming up. When you are talking about a student and you want to create some student inside your table, then JPA will come into the picture now. And the thing that I can do is I can use the repository layer that I've already created that is already connected to the database as well using my properties file. So what I'll be doing is this is the beauty. I'll be injecting the dependency using the AutoGuard annotation that is already there in a particular IOC container. So before moving further, let me explain you one more thing. If you will see, whenever I'm running my application, it should generally go to the main class and the main method, you can say, this is the main method which is inside my student management system application.java. If you will see inside the main, I'm having one particular method that is the run method, right? And before that, before moving to the run method, I want to show you one more thing. If you will see, the package name is com.student management system, right? And this is the root package that I'm having, and inside this package I'm having other packages, controller, model, repository, right? So the main thing will come into the picture is this Spring Boot application. Why I have told you about this packaging, because if you will see Spring Boot application, it is the king of whole Spring Boot because it consists of three main annotations, which is nothing but if you hover on it, you will be seeing Spring Boot configuration, enable auto configuration, component scan, even though it also consists of some other notations as well, but these three are the important one which interviewer expects from you. Component scan is nothing but whenever you are running your application, this component scan is nothing but it will scan all the sub packages. So it is your root package. Inside this you are having all other sub packages. For an example, controller, model, repository. So it will scan those. If it will able to find out at the rate component annotation on any of the classes, then it will store it as a bean inside the IOC container. And how the IOC container will be created using this run method. If you will hover on the run method, you will be seeing that it returns and running the application context. So this application context is nothing but your particular IOC container, right? So that's how that is the particular use of component scan. And you will ask me that how this repository is a particular controller or a component, right? So how it is a component? So if you will hover on it, you will see that inside the repository itself, we are having at the rate component as well. At the rate component. So it is a component only, right? Either you can even directly write it as a component only, but for business purpose or for simplicity, we just mention it as a repository layer, right? So let's go back to the controller. Before going back to the controller, even there are two more annotations that I have to talk about is the at the rate enable auto configuration and at the rate Spring Boot configuration. So when I'm talking about Spring Boot configuration, if you want to create any of the beans over here, for an example, we want to work with the microservice. In the microservice, we are having REST template. So if I'm putting the REST template over here, I have to create a bean of REST template first of all. So how I'll be creating it? Let me show you that as well. I'll be creating it using public REST template, okay, and then REST template, right? So this is a kind of function that I'm creating at this moment. It is not a function actually. It's a kind of bean that I'm creating. So I have to put the at the rate bean annotation as well. So wherever I'm just creating a bean manually, this particular class inside which I'm creating the bean, it should be annotated as a at the rate configuration. Okay, so that is why if I'm putting it inside the Spring Boot application class itself, then the Spring Boot at the Spring Boot configuration will be acting to scan all the bean packages inside the same main function class itself, right? I think it's becoming complicated for you, but basically, the enable auto configuration and the Spring Boot configuration is nothing but Spring Boot configuration will be just looking forward to have the bean components inside the main class itself. And when I'm talking about the enable auto configuration, it's nothing but it will be just checking for all the other configuration classes. Even it will be helpful in running your embedded Tomcat server. It will be just enabling the configuration for all the dependencies as well. So that is the beauty of the Spring Boot, right? So I hope you got an idea right now. And let's go back to the student controller. And the thing that we were doing is we were just trying to create the student, right? Let's go back and just create it at the rate request body we will be receiving request body, and what we will be receiving is student s. I'm just calling it as s, right? And inside that, what I was talking about is if I want to save this particular data, I have to interact with the database, right? And which layer is actually interacting with the database is the repository layer, right? And how I can inject my repository layer inside this class. So I'll be using this auto wired annotation, right? And I'll be just mentioning it as private. What is the name of my class? Student repository, and I'm just calling it as a repo, right? Let's just import everything. Whatever is showing you the red line, just import it. Import this one as well. Okay, and now import this one as well. It's somehow time consuming for you as well. I don't want to spoil your time. So what I'll be doing is repo dot save and s, right? Then what I'll be returning is return. Let me do one thing. Okay, return and response entity. What I want to return from here? I want to return what? I want to return response entity dot okay. I want to return s. Okay, s is nothing but your object which is getting saved, right? Response. Okay, I hope you got it. Response entity dot okay s, right? So I'm just returning it. Now let's get restarted automatically as I'm using the dev tools. It will take some time. We'll restart it. So let it get restarted. Okay, so it's restarted actually. Now I'll go back over here. I need to see what are the things I have to share, right? I'll go back to my student model class, and inside the model class, I can see that these are the particular things that I need to set, right? Let's go back and just set it. This is not the way actually you have to set the particular JSON. So how you will be setting it? This is the way. So first of all, you have to set name. What is the name that you want to set? I want to set it as Puneet, right? And class number you have to set class number, right? And what is the class number that you want to set? I just want to be in 12th class, okay? And the father name I have to set. So let's set the father name as well. Father name, and the father name I want to set. So I'll be just setting it out as Sanjeev Sharma, right? Then after this one, I want to set the domain as well. So domain is the important one, right? In which domain? So I have taken the science actually in the 12th. Okay, so this is the science. Now I can delete the above one so that I got an idea actually what I have to set. After setting it out, what else I have to do? I have to just hit the SMS using the post mapping. This is the body that I want to send and send request. You'll see that right now it is hitting 400. Why is it so? You have to figure it out. Okay, while saving it, just save it as student S1 equals to, and just give it as like this, so that anytime whatever I'm just I just want to set, I'll be just first of all saving it, and after saving it, it will be returning that particular object into this one, and just I want to show that. So let's go back. Let's try to hit that again. You will see that your particular application is sending you 200. That means you are able to save this particular response, or this particular request has been saved into your database. Once I go back to my database, you will see that if I just do select star, select star dom student, and if I just run this, you will see that this is the first student that has been saved already, right? Okay, let's go back. Just save one more record. I just want to save the ID as 2. I want to save it as Vineet, and I want to save the class number as 11, and let's give it as signs only. Let's save it, and you will see that this is also saved, and we are getting a 200 response. Okay, let's go back over here, and you will see that in the database, if I want to run it again, you will see these particular 2 entries has already been saved. Okay, so nice, we got a beauty actually. What else? So the next one is, we have already created the object, we want to retrieve it now. Okay, so to retrieve it again, we have to go with the get mapping. But in the get mapping, again, there would be a kind of conflict that will be coming in the application, is that these are the 2 get mappings that we are using with a single request mapping. So either we have to just comment it out, or we have to just provide the particular path, right? So again, I have to provide a path. Let me just give it as create or retrieve, or just get one, right? So I want to get one, right? It depends if you want to get only one record, or if you want to get all the records. So for those, we are having 2 different particular mappings we have to do, right? So let's go back, and we have to set public response entity. So if it is only one record, then you can just mention student, okay, and get one student, okay. So how you will be getting it, right? So you have to just specifically, if you want to have the one record, so that record you will be trying to fetch using its particular ID, right? So how you will be sending the ID, that you will be sending using the path variable, right? So path variable is nothing but will be just taking the particular ID from the URL itself, right? So let's suppose I just want to, I'll be just sending the ID over here. So that particular thing I have to just mention over here, path variable int ID. Okay, let me just import it out. It's done. Okay, here if I want to retrieve only one single record, then there is one particular function in the JPA. If you will see, these particular save was even not there. Even if I go back to the repository layer, you will see that no save method, no find by ID, nothing is there, but even still I'm using it. So that is the beauty of this JPA repository itself. Inside it, we are having a lot of methods available, and that's what we are extracting directly into the controller. Okay, so let's go back, return response entity dot, okay, and what I want to return, the return is repo dot find by ID. What is the ID? The ID that we are getting from here. Okay. And now it is giving us some issues. Why? Because if you will see, cannot convert from optional, because it will be returning an optional. So to avoid that optional, we will be just putting get. Okay. So now it's fine, right? Okay. Just save it. You will see that it will again restart. And remember that this is the API now. Slash SMS slash get one, then slash we have to mention the ID. Okay, let's go back, and this time we have to hit the get mapping, SMS slash get one. Which one you want to retrieve? Is it the first one or is it the second one? I want to retrieve the first one. So let's send the request. You will see that this is the ID one. This is the record that I'm getting. So that is how even your React.js will work. It will be using the HTTP client to have the request in the JSON format, and that JSON format will be showing on the UI in some amazing way, right? Amazing forms, amazing tables, right? So that's how your particular retrieval works as well. Now, even I can ask for the second ID. Let me just send for the second ID. I want to retrieve the second value. So yes, it is coming as Vinny, 11, Sanjeev Sharma, and science, right? So this is about if you want to retrieve a single particular ID values, right? A particular object, a particular entity. Okay. Now let's go back. If you want to retrieve more than one value, what you can do is get mapping, and this time I'll be just doing get all. Okay. And this time what I have to do is public response entity, and this time it will be returning a list of students, right? So we have to mention that list of student, right? It's not a single student this time, so we have to mention it as list of students. This is what I'm mentioning over here, and get all student, right? And nothing has to mention over here because we are not fetching anything from the path this time. And this return response entity dot okay repo dot find all, right? So find all is also a function available inside the response entity, inside the repository actually, and the response entity is helping it out to send this response back in the format of JSON, right? Here it is giving us some issues. Why is it so? Okay, we have to import the list as well. So to import the list, we can just directly go up. We'll be just importing it using import java.util.star. Done. Okay, let's save it out. You will see the error has been gone, and you will see the application will reload, and this time again we'll be just trying to retrieve all the values of whatever is available in the list or whatever is available in the table, right? So this time we'll be just going to retrieve get all. Okay, let's hit send request. You will see that 200, and this is the data that I was expecting. Even it will retrieve all the values. Okay, so this is the beauty of retrieve. We have done a create, we have retrieved the value. The two things that is remaining is update and deletion, right? Let's go ahead and close that as well, so that we can start our React in the next video. Okay, so let's go back. So these are the kind of APIs that we are creating at this moment, and the same we will be using in the React application as well. So let's create one, which is to update the values. So how you can update it? So to update it, we'll be using a put mapping. And if you're using the put mapping here, you have to specifically mention the particular path as well. For an example, if you want to update only the first entity, means first ID you will be sending. So definitely you have to send it using your URL. I mean your path, right? So let's give it as well. Slash update student slash ID. Okay, and then public response entity response entity, and then this time it would be a student only because a single student we are updating at this moment. Um, update is student, right? Update the student, and while updating it, we'll be expecting a request body student s, and then path variable which is int id. Okay, and then because id is coming from the this path only. Okay, that's why I'm mentioning it as path variable int id. Okay, and the request body is nothing but that will be coming from that will be coming in the JSON format. Okay, so let's go ahead and just set it everything. Put mapping. Let me just um, import it as well. Okay, now I got one ID. I got a student. What I have to do is first of all I have to check it whether it is available in the database or not. If it's not available, then why I have to update? For an example, a particular ID is not available. I'm sending three, which is not available. So what is the use of updating it? Because it's not available. It should throw an error directly. Okay. So what I will be doing is if repo dot find by id, which is the id, that is the id that is coming in the path, um, does not request to null. If we have a value inside it, so what we'll be doing is we'll be just going to update it. How I'll be updating it? Repo dot save, and whatever the value we have got, I'm just saving it out. That's it. And now I'll be just returning it. Return response entity dot okay, and the data has been updated successfully. Okay, now you will be mentioning it. Why is this error? Because we will just want to send a particular student, but instead of that, we are sending a string. So let's save it out. We have done a update student as well. So let's get restarted. We have restarted it. Now let's go back, and here instead of get all, we have to use update student. Update student. Which student we want to update? I want to update the first one. And for the first one, what I want to update, I want to update um, from Puneet to Vineet, right? But we'll be having both the records as Vineet then. So to avoid that, what I'll be mentioning it as, for an example, I want to mention it as, or I want to mention for the Puneet only. I want to mention Puneet and the class name, class number, which was 12. I want to mention it as 13. Okay, even though 13 is not available, but still I want to update it. Then I'll be sending this request. You will see that I'm getting a 4 not 5 because method is not allowed. Why? Because I'm sending a get. So it should be a put. Okay, instead of pause, it should be a put. Let's send it again. You will see that the data has been updated successfully. If I go back and if I just check the student, you will see that for the Pune, the class number has been changed to 13. Okay, that is the beauty. Okay, you have done it. Clap for yourself as well. So for Puneet, it was 12. Now it has been changed to 13. So this is how the put mapping used to work. You have updated it. But there is one more thing. You have updated a particular record, but you have to send the whole data with the put mapping. What if you want to just send only that particular data which you want to update? So in that case, what you will be doing, you have to use the patch mapping. So the patch mapping come into the picture when you want to update only a single record or a specific records only. You don't want to send whole record of data, right? So what you will be doing, you'll be just going with the patch mapping. In the patch mapping, you will be sending the particular ID as well again. Patch mapping update value and then slash. I'll be mentioning the ID, then public response entity. Suppose this time I want to use a student itself. Okay, student, then update value of student, and let us suppose I'm getting a whole request body again. I'm just mentioning it as request body, but inside the request body there might be only a single parameter. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, student s comma at the rate path variable. The same thing will go on path variable int id. Okay, now the special thing will get started. So just import the patch mapping actually. First of all, we have to import the patch mapping. We have imported it. Now, what we have to do, first of all, whatever the value you are getting, you have to check it out. So how you will be checking it? Let's use it over here. Student exist, right, equals to student exist equals to s dot find by id, right? And if you have got it, then hooray, s dot find by id. Find by id is undefined for the type student. That is not s dot find by id. It is a repo dot find by id. Okay. Now there should be one student. Okay, so that's why we have to use a get as well, right? Now we have got something, and after getting it, what I have to do is I have to go again. I have to check if in the existing one, if exist dot get id doesn't equals to null. If it is not null because it is coming in the request body, then I have to change that as well. So if it doesn't equals to null, then what I have to do, I have to just change it. Exist dot exist dot set set id. What I have to set, that should be coming in with my request only. S dot get id, right? I hope you are getting it. What I mean to say, right? If exist dot get id operator for argument int null. Actually, id should be integer, so I have to check it with the zero, right? Now the other thing that I have to check is if I have to check it for everything. Exist dot get um, this time let's check it for class number. Okay, class number doesn't equals to zero. Then exist dot set class number. Then s dot get class number, right? So that is how you have to go for each of the. So that's it. So we have to do repo dot save exist. Okay, and after saving it, what I have to do is return response entity dot okay. Um, then we have to send the exist report, right? Okay, response entity. Okay, so done. So this is how we have to do the patch mapping, and I'll be showing you that. Okay, let's save it. You'll be seeing that your application is getting restarted now. Let's get it restarted. After the restart, you will go back, and this time I want to update the first student itself, and I want to update only the name from Puneet to Puneet Vashistha, right? And all those stuff I will be removing for now, right? This is the only thing that I want to change, and the only thing that I'll be doing is patch. Okay, let's send the request. You will see that it is giving method not allowed. Why? Why it is giving? Because that is not the particular case. We have to do update value, right? Hit the request again. You will see that failed to fetch. Why is it so bad? Let's try it with 2. Oh, now what it is doing actually, when I'm hitting the request, it is setting it as 0, null, null. Okay, so there is something that is missing. We have to check it out while doing the patch. So let's go back. We have to check if what is missing over here. Student exist. Oh, the important thing that we are missing at this moment is we are doing incorrect thing at this moment, which is we are checking our existing one. We are just setting again into the existing one. That should not be the case. Here we have to check it s dot class number. If it is 0, here also s, here also s, here also s. Okay. Now this thing will work. Okay. Let's do one thing first of all. Let's set one thing again. Let me just for the fun value, I have to set the father name as Sanjeev Sharma. So Sanjeev Sharma, and just send the father name. Okay, you send it. You see that everything is as is, and the father name is set to Sanjeev Sharma now, right? Similarly, I'll be showing you for an example. I'll just go back over here, and you will see that now I want to set a domain for the first one, right? Let's go back to the domain. I want to set the domain. Let's change the domain, and here I want to set it to science, right? Science. Okay, let's send the request. You will see that the domain has been sent, and Rest everything is remain as is. Okay. So that's how the beauty used to come up with the patch mapping. You can even send a specific request um, JSON data so that a particular data can only be changed inside the whole object, right? So that is how the patch mapping and root mapping used to work. Now let's go back, work on the D, which is your delete mapping. Okay, okay. So what you have to do is you have to use a delete mapping now. Delete mapping. And inside the delete mapping, it will be public response entity and TT. And here is the string that I want to save at this moment. String and delete student. Okay, delete the student based on a particular ID, because again we will be getting ID and we have to get this ID inside the delete mapping itself. So let's get that. What I'll be doing is slash delete slash the ID that we'll be getting. Okay, delete student that we will be getting in path variable int ID. Okay, we have to import it. Delete mapping. This one response. The delete mapping. If repo dot find by ID, find by ID, okay, find by ID doesn't equals to 0 or doesn't equals to null, then what we have to do, we have to just delete it. Okay, so we'll be just doing repo dot delete by ID. The ID will be sending, and then we'll be what we'll be doing, we'll be just sending it. Okay, so then we will be returning it. Okay, so return response entity dot okay, sorry, थोड़ा लाइट चली गई है but still try to manage it. So response entity, so we'll be sending it as a string. Delete it successfully. Okay, done. Now this is the response entity. Why is it so? It is giving some error response. Okay, else if it is not running, then we have to say that it is not able to save, not deleted successfully. Okay, so listen, delete mapping, CRUD operation, CRUD, create, retrieve, update, delete is in the progress right now, right? So we just have to check it out. Let's go back, check for the to value with this one to get delete. Okay, and we will be using the delete mapping this time. So delete. This will make no sense. Don't worry about it. Send request. Deleted successfully. We can even try to check it out. We'll go back, select star from student. We'll see that only a single student is left now. Okay, so that is done. Okay, so you got an idea. We have created the backend application for now. We'll be just using the same APIs in our React application. So that is it in this video, and definitely if you like it, please hit subscribe, like to this video, and please share it with your friends as well who want to be a full stack developer with you. Just start developing your skills so that you can able to apply for almost all the companies, right? So okay, let's meet in the next video. We'll be looking forward to just integrate this particular backend application with the front end React application. Okay, thank you so much.